Hey guys, aloha, good morning. Oh, wait, did it go through? This thing always glitches out every time I go live. It like glitches out in the first like little couple seconds. But hi, hello, hello, hello. I don't even have my contacts in. You're catching me like very early morning version of me. Um, Hi, hi. I'm gonna wait for a bit. Well, I don't wait for a bit to talk. I'm just gonna like chill with you guys as the chat starts to fill in. But I hope you guys are feeling good and amazing. There we go. Hi, Kelly. Good morning. Excuse me. We've been in some good vibes the last couple of days. I know I've been feeling it. I've been speaking with other people who've really been feeling it. The astrology enables it. It's a good place. It's a good little cushy place that we've been in as we prepare for the next cycles essentially coming in. Antoinette, hi, Nikki, Pocket Angel, that's really cute. I like that name. Uh, as above, so below. Hello, hello, hello. What's today? Is today Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. So I was about to do the weekly messages, and I was like, I think I need to take a minute and just sort of appreciate where we're at currently. Hold on, got a little cat hair on my camera. Where we're at currently and what we're about to dive into. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, yes, it's probably afternoon for some of you. I live on the side of the world where we have like one of the last like time zones. So, like, because I think Australia is like a day ahead, which is like they're technically only like I think 6 or 8 hours away from us. So it's kind of funky because like I feel like Hawaiians and people and just the Polynesian islands in general, like the last people to wake up in every day, because of like the time zone. So a lot of people are like way ahead of us. First time catching you live. Hi Maria, welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't been live here in a bit. There's been a lot going on for me that I've been staying very focused on and like balancing. Um, I expect a lot of cool things in the next few months, actually, that I'm excited to unveil to you guys when the time is right. When the time's right. Feeling really good vibes, yes, amongst my extreme anxiety. Hey, you're feeling the good vibes though. That's what matters. Happy Friday. Love your channel. Hope you're well. I'm doing amazing, Stacy. I hope you're doing great too. I want to go to Hawaii alone. Come, 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 come. Come visit, come explore, come experience the magic. From Arizona. Hey, Arizona. Haven't seen you live since January 2021. Oh, I mean, I've been live since then. Do you mean just catching a live, like being in the live while I'm live? Because I've definitely been live since then. But the whole algorithm, like people have a hard time catching my videos in the last like year or so because I've done so many changes to the channel because I've had so many life changes. Yeah, catching live. Okay. Just watching your weekend reading. Cool. Ooh. Oh God, I just got activated. Uh so crazy when that happens. It's just like, whoa. It's like, oh shit. Prepare, brace myself. Um, I'm not surprised actually because I kind of had that feeling with going live. Like I felt called to go live. I felt called to just talk about where we're at and what we're walking into, and also just to appreciate the present moment because there's a lot of yummy energy right now that I think everybody has a chance to just like embrace and just adore and love. Um, but I had that feeling of like, I wonder if they're going to make me channel. Oh my God, Lauren, thank you so much for the $50. That is insanely generous. Thank you. Oh my God. That's a surprise. That is a very nice surprise. Thank you. Thank you. I love your mug. It is spooky season. We must celebrate. Hold on. Sorry guys, give me a second. Scooch. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Okay. I've been aligning with your videos again. So excited. Been a crazy spiritual ride. It really has. And I feel like, oh, sorry, my cat is like, he's been asking for a lot of attention this morning. Oh God, sorry, I have so much energy coming in now. Yeah, for everyone who's been in the community or anybody who considers themselves healers, light workers, people who are just sensitive, people who are just open, connected, tuned in, awake, whatever word you want to use. All of the above, right? I think we've all been on a little bit of a roller coaster. I mean, this is like beyond the pandemic at this point. Like the last couple months, I feel like ever since the first eclipse cycle that we're actually closing out now ever since May. I think everybody's been on a little bit of a ride. Um, excuse me. And I feel like a lot of people who, again, tuned in, awake, whatever, what have you, have been really holding the collective. Like, that's how it's felt to me, where we've really been kind of like getting the brunt of the energetic chaos that the collective has been going through, all of the emotions, the up and downs, and then there's also been this untangling, unweaving from unhealthy patterns and unhealthy ancestral connections and really, really old programming. And it's what do you need? What do you need? He doesn't even know. He's like, I just have to be restless and be around. Um, I'm on Oahu. I need to go to the Big Island soon, though. There's a lot of little trips I need to make. I need to go to Maui. I need to go to Big Island. I need to go to Washington. I need to go to Arizona. I need to there's a lot of trips I need to be making. My jaw has held a lot of tension. So weird. I had to get a jaw massage. Oh my God, jaw massages are amazing. I have to do those regularly. Like, it's so important. So freaking important. He's relentless. Yeah, yeah. You guys know I love him so much. But yeah, he's been a little restless. I don't think is the best word. And there's also something else, right? I know for me anyway, I've been struggling with my words, and I recognize that's because I'm going through a transition. My I've been adjusting a lot in my upper chakras, my heart space especially, my throat chakra especially, due to all of this untangling and unweaving. And I know I'm not the only one. I know other people have been doing this kind of work, not necessarily pertaining to this, but their own unweaving, untangling, because the collective's been going through it. And as healers, light workers, people who are awake, people who can hold the collective in that space, we have been getting the brunt of that. And it's been rough on our energy, it's been rough on our bodies. And now we're in this like really yummy little window. And it's a window. And it's not to say that we can't hold on to these energies and learn how to sit in this all the time. But we're in this really yummy Venus. We're in this really yummy like Venus cushion right now, and I'm just soaking it in. Like yesterday, just listening to music and like doing my art, and like, yeah, there were things I had to do. Like there were readings I had to do, clear like the weekly reading that I pushed to today. And it's like, no, I need this. My soul needs this. My energy needs this. I need to just be lost in the yummy feels, right? And being really connected to myself in that way. And I think a lot of people, oh, skin is popping. Oh, thank you. I was very sweaty last night. I mean, I also know I've been clearing a lot, so I will take the compliment. Thank you. I'm trying to be better about that. So thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Trying to plan art and music with a friend too. LOL. Oh, good. It's such a good outlet right now while we're in a lot of this Venus energy. Yeah, it's just in a place of really feeling blissed out, feeling love, feeling connected to the self. And that energy is not going away necessarily. Like, we're gearing up for Mars retrograde. We've been in the pre-shadow for a while. We're gearing up for the next eclipse cycle, which is starting October 25th. We've been in the pre-shadow for that. Just a heads up though. But new moon Scorpio and then the full moon Taurus eclipse, it's going to be huge as far as what we're going to have to be dealing with and facing and learning in relation to the lessons of North Node, South Node, Taurus, Scorpio, right? And I do believe this is the second phase, and then we're moving into the third, and I think that would be it. I don't know if there's going to be a fourth phase. I have to look farther ahead. I haven't looked that far ahead as far as calendar is concerned. Oh, we got Scotland here. We got some Scotland here. I want to go to Scotland so bad. That's another big pull I've always felt. There will be a day. I don't think it's anytime soon. Actually, I just got 2024, 2025. No, we'll see if that happens. When you're about to go to the retreat, I saw you in a dream. Oh, really? Really? I show up a lot in dreams. I'm a dream walker, so people see me a lot in the dream space. Ireland, we got Ireland too. Been feeling energy of getting a lot of things done. Yeah, that's been the case too, because we've had so much Saturn and Mars energy. So yeah, Venus has been holding us in this really beautiful place, allowing us to be softer, connect, find more peace and just harmony in the present, especially with like being in Libra, right? And then Mars and Saturn have been getting us like really focused and really on top of things. Now, Mars has been square Neptune and Saturn is still square Uranus. So that has been creating a little bit of a slowdown with the things we've been wanting to put effort into and be active and on top of. But it doesn't mean we're not slow. Like, we're having progress and we're getting shit done and we're focused and we're disciplined while also having that nice balance of like feminine Venusian energy. So we're in a really, really nice, yummy, balanced place. And, relationships and community are also really huge right now as we enter into this next 6 month cycle. Mars retrograde is not part of this whole 6 month cycle. It's just going to be like the first beginning phase of it. Mars retrograde is its own 6 month cycle. And we are like, well, actually, technically, I mean, I guess we're 2 months into it. So there's 4 months left of Mars retrograde, 2 months of it being the actual retrograde, and then 2 months being the post shadow, where we integrate, we reflect, we cement lessons, and we learn. So I guess it's 2/3 of the next 6 month cycle. Yeah, I guess that's much more accurate to say. But relationships and community, really huge, really huge. Like, I was sitting in my bed this morning and just kind of letting information come through. And I was having my own reflection of my own shit, my own stuff. And I realized everything going on, especially in October specifically, but with the new moon Scorpio as well, with that conjunction with Venus. With the new moon being conjunct Venus, tightly conjunct at 2 degrees, by the way. Mirroring. Letting yourself learn through relationships, letting yourself reflect about yourself, and literally have mirroring experiences with people through relationships. It's to deepen your relationship with yourself. It's to grow in sacred union with yourself, not necessarily with other people. So don't be surprised if like things get really deep and really passionate and really intense because of all the Scorpio energy we're moving into with the eclipse, but also change drastically or catalyze you or transform you in major ways with the full moon in Taurus being conjunct to Uranus. And also being square Saturn, by the way. I'm actually not looking forward to the square Saturn, but it is what it is. I'm finally catching you live. Hope life has been treating you well. Life has been great. Life's been good. Life has been an adventure. Life has been unpredictable, but it's good. Honestly, for a while, I've been like, I need my life to be boring. I need my life to be mundane. I need my life to be a little slower. But honestly, I don't think I'd be happy if it was. So I've embraced the bliss of the chaos. I see so many synchronistic numbers for a long time, but I don't know what the universe is trying to tell me. When it comes to numbers, I mean, you can pay attention to the specific numbers if you want to. Nothing wrong with that. And there are messages that are attached to certain frequencies, like 555 is change and transformation, right? But honestly, when you're seeing numbers, it just means you're connected. It just means you're in tune. And all you have to do to understand, it's not a understand, right? You're not like understanding here. You're understanding here. You just feel it. You just feel it. And you got to be in your body for that. You got to be calm for that. You have to be listening for that from here, not from here. It's all a feel. It's all an intuitive. It's all about the connection. Nothing about any of this is here. Nothing is here. You know? Says I'm a Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, and Libra moon square Pluto. Okay. I'm on a brick of a breakdown every other day. Thank God you and others are there to help and guide us. Oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on to say, like, appreciate this present moment right now because we're in a very balanced, yummy, cushy place. And I really suggest giving yourself permission to indulge a little bit, especially over this weekend. If you guys watch the weekend reading, indulge in art, indulge in things that make you feel good and pamper yourself, and, high quality foods and good music and good people and fun environments, like things that also get like your sacral like going, like indulge in that because it's going to feel even better than it normally would, first of all. But we kind of need that nourishment right now. We need that. And as you guys are getting involved or more exposed in relationships and community, again, as we get into this Scorpio eclipse energy, Scorpio likes to be deep. Scorpio likes the real. Scorpio likes the truth. And with it being conjunct Venus, if we aren't going there in relationships, if we're not going to that deep, very authentic, connecting on a soul level place, it's gonna make us uncomfortable. It's gonna show us some things about ourselves, and just let that happen naturally. It might even have some fights come up, but just let it happen, because it's just gonna help you to get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper within yourself, and also helping with that connection, right, to all things and connection to yourself. You guys will find this out in the weekly message, but the upcoming week we have a lot of Pluto energy. And as I was tapping into it, sorry, my face is so itchy because I have cat hair everywhere. It's like scratch my face off. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we have a lot of Pluto energy, and it's Pluto's dealing with Venus and Pluto's dealing with the sun. And as I was tapping into it, it's like we're in this really yummy place, and then we're gonna go like, whoo, whoo, via relationships. And I think that also is a little bit of a window of what's to come in the beginning of these first 6 months, like especially the first month itself. Clyde, what's going on? Sorry, guys. What's up? He's just being grumpy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, relationships. Oh God, he totally distracted me. He totally distracted me. Yeah, relationships are just going to be a facilitator for going deeper with yourself. And with the Pluto energy, oh, that's what I was talking about. The Pluto energy that's coming up this next week, it's a good window into seeing this, because we're going to feel really like romantic and yummy and gushy and good and delicious. And then we might hit some triggers. We might have some towers and events that happen, especially midweek, where we're like, oh my God. And it starts to make us feel insecure or make us feel like we need to have control. So if any of us are still struggling with control issues or have any inner child issues relating to abuse, jealousy, lack of safety, addiction, possessiveness, like codependency, that sort of stuff, it's going to come up. But it is to facilitate growing and getting deeper with ourselves and deeper with others. We really need to embrace community. Like, this is something we've all been needing to do as a collective, and these are just little windows into helping us with that assist, while Mars is kind of doing other stuff. So Venus is helping us with that and community. And Mars is more about like our commitment to our passion, our commitment to our purpose, our commitment to ourselves, and choosing paths, forging paths that enable that feed our light and make our light grow. Amen to indulging this weekend. Yes, indulge. I mean, within reason. Like, don't blow all your money and then be left like SOL. Like, have some rationale with it. But yeah, indulge. Like, make yourself feel good. Do things that nurture you. Nothing wrong with that. Clyde is so sweet. Yeah. He is. This is him grumpy though. Like, being honest, he's grumpy and a little agitated right now. Let's see. How do you do inner shadow work? There's all kinds of ways to do it. Like, so many things I want to say in relation to that. It's not something that I think should be forced. Let me put it that way. You can do shadow work all the time while being in flow with it. When you get triggered, when you get sad, when you start to have like things bubble to the surface and you want to resist it, or you want to shut it down, or you move into like your typical coping mechanisms, or you're not dealing with it and you're lashing out, like, just take a moment. Just take a moment to yourself and reflect on that. Let yourself feel the shit that's coming up and not attach to it. Just let yourself be human, right? Let yourself have those human moments, but take accountability for what you're feeling. Like, that's how you do shadow work. Like, essentially, that's, if I really like to put it in really simple terms, that's all it is. It's letting yourself be human, having yourself be really honest about what it is you're feeling in your human moment, and take accountability for it, right? It's like, okay, that's what I feel, and this is how I want to act. And really, that this is my response. This is my trigger response. Do I want to act like that? Do I want to treat people this way? Do I want something better for myself? Okay, let me take accountability and do something about it, right? It really just comes down to that. However you want to do that. And there are different tools. Like, inner child work, especially, like there are different like ways of getting in touch with your inner child, whether it is through guided meditation. Why is my camera battery like dying? um don't know why it's dying like that. I thought it was charged. uh Sorry, Clyde is so distracting me right now. um Especially with the inner child, I was really feeling that too with the collective. Like that's a constant thing. Being connected with your inner child is important because it helps you to stay in tune with play and fun and freedom. And especially for anybody who is a light worker or a healer, the deeper you get into that work, the more you recognize that, this is your vessel. And it is you, it's still you, but there's so much more to you than just your vessel. And sometimes we can get really detached from the identity of the vessel, which means we get detached from the inner child. But we always need to hold that inner child. We need to constantly be connected to the inner child. um yeah, he's grumpy. um it helps us to enjoy, it helps us to stay true to ourselves. It also helps us to just stay lighthearted, uh let's see. Clyde is so cute. I love that you guys love him so much. um we sucked up the energy from the camera. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I swear it was fully charged. Maybe it was overcharged. Maybe I've been charging it too much. Sitting with your shit, accepting it, learning from it, shadow work. Right. And that's the thing. It's like shadow work and self healing. It doesn't have to be this like long drawn out struggle. It doesn't have to be this arduous, burdensome thing. And I know it can feel like that, right? But the more attached we get to the struggle of it, the intensity of it, like the harder it's going to be, that we're perceiving it to be, the more drawn out it might even be. And actually, the harder it can be to just let go. We're just humans and we're just doing our best, right? So just consider that as you move into the next cycle. Trust, they're telling me trust. Trust is also going to be really major moving into this next cycle. And I'm really feeling that around the full moon Taurus. The full moon Taurus, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be a huge catalyst for a lot of people, whether it really changes your life, like the physical structure of your life, like the material part of your life, or other, like on a soul level. That conjunction with Uranus is strong. While the new moon Scorpio is happening at 2 degrees and is conjunct Venus at 2 degrees, that tight conjunction, the full moon Taurus is happening at 16 degrees Taurus, and it's going to be tightly conjunct Uranus at 16 degrees and square Saturn at 18 degrees. That's major. That's so major. So trust. And if you struggle with trust, I mean, again, you're human. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just be gentle with yourself throughout the cycle, I guess is what I'm just trying to say. Oh, Marina, thank you. Thank you for the 119. Thank you. Thank you. The relationship dreams, LOL. It's been so fun for me. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I love how you explain stuff like so positive but real. I mean, it's a matter of perspective. We can look at things as being really negative if we want to. I don't really want to enjoy it. I don't really want to ride that timeline, honestly. Everything just is what it is, right? Everything just is what it is. I'm getting called to recommend a book. I so I'm just gonna throw it out there. The 5 things we can't control might come in handy this upcoming week, and also through Eclipse, the first like month or so of Eclipse season. Especially, yeah, I'm really feeling that with full moon Taurus. I think full moon Taurus is going to make us feel really out of control. So this week, as we get challenged with our control issues, think of it as a time to strengthen your resilience to that, right? Like, however, whatever makes you feel out of control, and like how you can feel more accepting of the fact you don't have control over certain things could prepare you, excuse me, sorry, for full moon Taurus. But yeah, it's the book five things that you can't control might help some of you guys out. I think it's on Audible too, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Roden. I feel like that book recommendations for me. I've been following you for so long. You got me out of a bad place for changing my perspective. Oh, I'm glad you're in a better place. I remember when you had 2 cats crawling around and knocking your first camera down constantly. Oh, Sly. I still miss Sly to this day. Um, that just made me a little sad. Um, Sly, yeah, he was pretty freaking adorable. He was like, I mean, Clyde's adorable and he's cute, but Clyde is also like regal. Like Clyde has like a stature. Clyde has like a very mature like presence of almost like guardian. But Sly was just adorable little kitten child energy, like this little ball of like white fluffiness with like really cross-eyed blue eyes, and he just wanted to like love on you all day. Like, oh, Sly was something. Uh I cried too when he took another path. Yeah. Yeah. And anytime I see a picture of him, I go, oh, just my heart hurts. Um, I love when Clyde pops in their readings. I'm glad you do. Some people don't like it. Some people get very annoyed. Thank you for everything. Recently realized that a lot of external trust issues stem from not trusting myself. Yes, 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 yes. There's also many people in the world that I've come to realize that don't have very healthy, balanced foundations like root chakra or earth star chakra, um, where their upbringing, their experiences didn't facilitate them to cultivate that, to cultivate this floor beneath them, to hold them throughout the craziness of life. That's going to be challenged too. Really more so with full moon Taurus. I feel like new moon Scorpio is going to be more about like challenging us on an emotional level and on a soul level of, do you know who you are? Can you be honest and authentic? And can you do that in relationships? And if you can't, we're going to show you the things that are impeding that for you. That's new moon Scorpio. Full moon Taurus is just, let's just change a bunch of things so that, you know, you can be challenged with control issues and adaptability and see how you fare. Also for the positive, you know, anytime things get shaken up, it's a chance to establish new things, right? How old is Clyde? He's getting up there. He's 10, I think. Or is he 9? Wait, I adopted him and he was 4. Yeah, he's 10. He's 10. Is the eclipse on the 18th? The new moon Scorpio is on the 25th. I believe full moon Taurus is the 8th. Let me double check. Yeah, it's the 8th. Oh, someone's birthday. Private. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just someone came into my mind because I know it's their birthday, and I'm like, oh shit. That's a big day to have a solar return. Oh wow, that's a big day to have a solar return for a Scorpio. Sorry, I'm like getting all lost in it because when we have solar returns, right? It's like the astrology of that particular day of our solar return is kind of like a preview of what the year has in store for us, and to have it on an eclipse, like a really activating eclipse. Oh shit. In for a ride. And it's funny because the new moon Scorpio is actually happening the day after my solar return. So I'm also kind of in that eclipse boat, but mine's gonna be more about relationships, which I would take over a conjunction with Uranus and square Saturn. That sounds like a lot. It's a lot. I love when Clyde is around. Cats are very intuitive, I hear. They are. Oh my god, they're so magical. They're like little healers, little kitty shaman healers that just walk around everywhere. Does being born on a cusp matter? Matter in what regard? I guess is what I would ask back. Like, if you're born on a cusp, you're born on a cusp. But I guess it would be like in the context of what matters to you, I guess. I'm feeling that square you mentioned on the social and political level. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even go there yet. Oh God, I did not even go there yet. Oh, wow. That's going to be some serious financial shakeups, some serious economic shakeups. And maybe not for the bad, might not necessarily be in a negative way, but major financial economic shakeups, currency shakeups, for sure. Resource shakeups, maybe even stuff with food. And then that square Saturn that also goes hand in hand with like authoritative issues, governmental issues, feeling like our freedoms are restricted with it being an Aquarius. Yeah. Oh, why'd you mention that? I wasn't ready to think about that stuff today. Let's see. Scorpio stellium also activated. Yeah. My birthday's November 9th. Uh, that's my sign to save, save, save. Yeah, and here Spirit has me like spending money like everywhere to travel and shit. And I'm like, I don't know, Spirit. Like this is making me feel a little sketch. Um, my bad. It's okay. It's okay. What are you doing for your birthday? Honestly, probably resting. I actually get back from a retreat on my birthday. Like the morning of, I'm still gonna be at the retreat, and then I go home. It's gonna be on island though, so it's not like I gotta take a plane or anything. And then I gotta take some space to integrate. So actually, it's funny too because that kind of goes hand in hand with dealing with a serious eclipse, right? Like, so I'm probably gonna be bubbling, integrating from what has come through in the retreat, and then just preparing for um going deeper and whatever's ahead for me. I'm also about to go into a mass, like starting January, I'm about to go into a massive transformative phase that's probably going to last a couple years. Um, so I honestly feel like I'm just getting prepared for that and whatever comes of that. I say that because my north node is Aquarius. My north node is Aquarius, like 2 degrees, something like that. And Pluto's not in Aqua yet. Pluto's still like late degrees Capricorn, but it's getting close enough. It's going to start getting close enough to where it's going to really start to activate my north node. And then Pluto actually has to move into Aquarius and then through that 2 degree point. So I would say the next like three, feels like three, the next 3 years, I'm my destiny, my accepting my path, my purpose, my mission, whatever, what have you, is going to be the core of my life. It already has been a huge part of my life, but it's going to be transformative because Pluto is going to be activating my north node. And it's also going to be happening in my 8th house. Just more Plutonian, scorpionic, transformative energy. Pluto and Aquarius, I can't wait. I have lots of Aquarius in my birth chart for Aquarians, I think. Any advice for inward solo psychedelic journey? Space is everything. Intention and your sacred space is everything. The energy that you take into that space and into that journey is everything. So I guess 3 things. 3 things. Your intention, where you're at energetically, emotionally with yourself already, just starting. Like I wouldn't start it in a distressed state. I wouldn't start it in a place where you're kind of like imbalanced and like you're kind of not okay. And your environment needs to be clean. It needs to be clean. It needs to be blessed. Needs to be gridded before you do that. That's just my suggestion because that's how I operate with doing stuff like that. And just let yourself go into it. Create your sacred space, open with whatever feels resonant with you as far as whether it's a prayer or a blessing or welcoming in your ancestors or your team, whatever works for you. Everybody works differently, and just let yourself be in that space and just see what happens and what comes up and just surrender to what comes up. Any advice for upcoming Saturn return in Pisces? Ooh. Oh, in Pisces. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Especially because we've been experiencing Aquarian Piscean energy in the last year or so. Because of where Saturn has been, where Jupiter has been. Jupiter's in Aries, but it's about to go back into Pisces. And then Neptune's also in Pisces. So, okay. It's interesting because I keep hearing balance with that. I feel like there might be a good period of time during a Saturn return in Pisces. And this also depends on where it is in your house. It really also depends on that, what house it's in too. Where I feel like a big void. I feel this opportunity to get really, really sucked in to yourself, to your own inner void, like really be completely detached from like the earthly plane. And that might go hand in hand with also experiencing certain like abilities or awakenings or what have you, or having just these really detailed, in-depth visions or spiritual experiences. But there comes the challenge, right? You need to walk in this world and be of it and be in it, but not of it. And that still is at play. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest challenges for Saturn return in Pisces. There's also, I'm feeling the heart space with that. Like I'm feeling so much openness and compassion, longing. Thank you. This deep yearning and longing for intimacy, for love, for acceptance. I don't know. I'm hearing martyr all of a sudden. A lot of lessons to be learned around that too is what I'm feeling, where that's something that will just happen naturally with the right people, but the seeking of it the seeking of it isn't necessarily healthy sometimes in the ways that we do it. There's some reflection that needs to be happening there, and I feel like it's relating to codependency and this expectation of people needing to be really like catering almost to your emotions, catering to your need for love, um, and connection and compassion and all of that. But that's just not how relationships work. And there's a big like emotional sensitivity that goes with that I think is probably going to be some lessons around that. But that's just stuff that I'm picking up innately. Oh, thank you, Island Browning. Thank you for the $20. I always miss you and just wanted to say thanks. Aw, well, mahalo. Thank you for the 20. And you're welcome. You're so welcome. Already bracing myself for my Aries Saturn return in a few years. Yeah, I know somebody who's got Saturn Aries. It's going to be very interesting for them. Yeah, Saturn returns are no joke, man. They're no joke. But wait, that was scarily accurate. Thank you for that. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, in third house. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, that makes so much sense. The speaking, communicating, connecting with people, forming relationships, friendships makes so much sense. Yeah, Saturn returns, man. Saturn returns are they're cray cray. They're so crazy. They're so crazy. And it could be a really amazing crazy, or it could be a really ugly crazy. And it really depends on what you've been doing up to that point and how you handle it. Like if you are just really honest with yourself and you go with what you know is the right healthy things to be doing during a Saturn return, you're gonna come out golden. Like you're gonna come out like amazing. And that doesn't mean it's like not gonna be like really like this like struggly. That's not a word. Doesn't mean that like you're not gonna struggle at certain points, but just embrace it, man. Embrace the process and do not fight it and own your shit. Be accountable, be honest, and let yourself just learn in your Saturn return. My Saturn return was great. My Saturn return, I felt so blessed, but I also just ran with it. I didn't fight it. I surrendered to it, and it worked out really well for me. Um, and I took a lot of accountability. But that's kind of what you have to do. I nailed my Saturn return at the very end and got rewarded. There you go. There you go. Uh, I got to look into my Saturn and Taurus. You got a little ways to be worried about it, so don't worry. You got some time. I feel like my Saturn return will be fun. I'm already having Pluto in 12th house and Saturn in first. So I can't get worse. So I can't get worse. Yeah, I'm already like, oh my God, what's going to happen when Saturn hits my 10th house? Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Especially when it hits my 12th too. I mean, I have a little ways to be worried about that, but yeah. It's such a relief to hear. Mine will be in my 10th house, and as a Capricorn, I'm scared. Oh, it's okay. Don't be scared. I'm a Capistellium, so I get it. I get it. And my Saturn return is in Capricorn because I'm a Saturn Capricorn, and that was all in my 7th house. But I got through. I got through. Totally got through. My Saturn return in Scorpio was awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, Saturn returns for those who are new and like coming to this video later. Actually, I should probably go because I realize I'm getting into like the time where I really should be doing other things. And my camera is like not doing so well on the battery and really needs to charge too before I get into the other stuff. But rambly. For those who are new to like what Saturn returns can entail, people like have kids, get married, get divorced, parents die, like career fallouts or promotions, like big, massive life changes happen during Saturn returns. And people say it's like either like really fortunate or a lot of misfortune. But again, that's, I think, perspective dependent. It's subjective. But yeah, those are things you can expect to happen during a Saturn return. During my mom is actually has the same Saturn as me. So my mom had me during her Saturn return. During my mother's Saturn return, she got pregnant with me. She had me. She moved in with her now husband, 30 years later. She got fired from her job like when she had like a newborn right after she gave birth to me, and found a new job. And I also believe her dad died too, like all within her Saturn return. Crazy shit happens. I got divorced. Oh, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Sarah Sue. That's it. Oh, I like that name, Sarah Sue. Feels very Southern. I like it. Um, Damn, busy few years. Yeah, shit get crazy. Shit get crazy during a Saturn return. During my Saturn return, let's see, I practically was living in poverty. I was like having trouble feeding myself, like let alone paying bills. It was like I was doing some crazy like financial gymnastics to try to stay afloat. I I found tarot. I started my channel. Um, I moved. A lot of people fell out of my life. Um, had my ascension process triggered, and my entire world perceptionally, and not entire, I would say like a good chunk of it was completely turned upside down. Um, oh, I had a very significant intimate relationship end that took me by surprise in a really kind of awful way. So it's like my side return, like it was hard. It could have been worse, but I just took accountability and had to get through it as best as I could. Um, I was living in poverty too. I had nothing. Yeah, so many changes. Yeah, shit get crazy. Shit get crazy. Your ascension is fairly recent. Then I thought it was much longer. It was 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. So subjective. If maybe that's long for you, not long for you, in your opinion. Um, I've always had abilities. Like, so that's the other thing. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's ascension awakening is different. Some people get abilities in their ascension process. I came into this world with abilities. I came into this world pretty open and experiencing a lot of things, being privy to a lot of things. And my journey was a lot more about like needing to just accept that that is why I'm here. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. That's what I am. And then there were periods of time when I would get like thrown back online. Like in 2012, a lot of people experienced that. In 2012, I got thrown back online in a serious way. And it was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was in a really abusive relationship at the time. And I think that was part of it, like trying to get me off that path. Anyway, you don't need to know my whole story. Um, from that relationship to my Saturn return was just dark. It was just dark. I was in just really dark energy, dark places, dark relationships. Um, I struggled a lot with like addiction and all kinds of things. Uh, and then, I got to the point where I had my Saturn return, and then that's when my life turned around, essentially. Um, there's all other stuff that's mixed in there too, but you all don't need to know my business like that. Um, I remember when all that was going on with you. That's crazy how far we've come. Yeah. Oh yeah. 2012 was crazy. I swear something changed then. Oh yeah, big changes. Big changes in 2012. You went to high school with my older sister. She said you were pretty shy but open-minded. Are you sure? I went to high school with who's your older sister? Are you sure? My high school was really small. My high school is really, really, really small. And it's not even there anymore. It's like non-existent. Um, Positive, curious, very curious. Because high school, oh my God, Charmaine. Oh, okay. I love Charmaine. She's so sweet. Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, that's crazy. That just blew my mind. She was actually the first person I ever spoke to at that school because I went to summer school before my freshman year, and she was just so sweet to me, and so she's a whole light ball within herself. Like she carries so much light. Yeah, I was a very different person. I mean, everyone's different when they're in high school, right? Versus like adulthood. At least most people are. Yeah, I was very shy because I had a lot of insecurities. I had a lot of I'm trying to stop using the word issues, but I did. Like I was kind of in a constantly traumatized state. So yeah, I was very shy, but she was amazing to me. Like she was amazing. I love her. So send her lots of love next time you talk to her. Um, yeah, she was probably one of the only. Let me think about it. I'm like trying to go through the people in my memory bank. No, there were a couple other people. There were like she was like one of like the barely handful of people that were really kind to me, and I could tell we're safe, safe space. My high school was rough for me, man. I mean, high school's a crazy place for anybody, but yeah, I didn't do so well in high school. She's a mommy now. I know. I saw on Facebook, and it's like, oh my god, so cute. Yeah, I've seen it, and she's just beaming. I'm so happy for her. Um, Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast like that. I apologize. I just realized I'm sorry if you felt put on blast with me, like probing. Um, let's see. That's so sweet. How did you notice your gift and started the path? I mean, when everyone is unaware, I was born with it. Like I was born with it, and so it was really more like we're just realizing, oh, people aren't like this. People aren't like this, and I didn't have control over it like as a kid, and so I honestly just struggled a lot like growing up, and then also with my family. People in my family have abilities. Like it wasn't crazy for me to be having abilities because it's like it ran in my family, but there was a lot of rejection on the part of my family when it came to that. So it wasn't really safe to talk about everything I could see and do and experience and all of that. So that's why it was so hard. But obviously I'm in a different place now. Um, now you guys are asking me about high school. You said small, just curious. Yeah, it was super tiny. God, my graduating class, I don't even remember. Maybe, I don't even think 68 people, maybe my graduating class. That feels right. But guys, it was so many years ago. It was a whole other lifetime ago. Um, and we had, I think we also had middle school, if memory serves. Yeah, I think we had high school, and then I think we had seventh and eighth grade too. God, it's so hard to remember all these details because, guys, seriously, this is like a past life for me. I don't like that version of me feels like a whole other chapter. Like I'm so far removed from it. We had that many grades, and like I'd be shocked if we even had like 500 kids on campus at school amongst all the grades put together. Like it was really tiny. Um, that's relatable. Life is crazy. When it comes to high school, I say, let's have the past in the past. Yeah, totally, right? Totally. School is the only place I felt at home. Really? Oh, love to learn. Okay, well, that's good. I like that. I think every kid should feel that way about school. And so many kids don't. So many kids don't. I would love to see that change. There's a lot of changes I like to see, which I'm sure we all feel the same way. But yeah. I've been watching you for years now, and you actually inspire me to embrace tarot in a more in-depth way. Oh, Angelica, that makes me so happy. I mean, I'm honestly still kind of like beaming about the whole Charmaine connection, that you're her sister. So I'm just like, it's a lot of emotion coming up there. Um, the world's a tiny place, man. It might seem huge and massive, but the world's a tiny place. Um, that's like I'm just my mind's blown. That's so crazy. Hold on, let me get rid of this stuff. Report. I haven't had that happen on my channel in a long time. Okay, yes. Um, any country you'd like to visit? Many. Oh my god, so many. A lot of countries in South America. Europe doesn't call to me that much, just being honest. Like Scotland calls to me, Italy calls to me, Greece kind of calls to me, Spain. Okay, I guess that maybe that's a lot. Spain kind of calls to me. Um, I really want to go to Egypt. I'd really want to go to South Africa. Nigeria even calls to me. Um, Asia doesn't call to me that much. Like Asian countries don't call to me very often. Um, yeah, I don't have a strong liking to go to Asia, to be honest. Um, Australia. I really want to go to Australia. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to explore the Polynesian islands more, like the Marquesas. I wanted to go to, but it's really hard to get to some of those places. They're so remote. I got you live. How exciting. Yes, you did. I'm honestly not going to stay on too much longer, though. Just a heads up. That specific bot is on every single chat, even on my kids' show. Oh, God. It's annoying. Rejection and abandonment issues with your family. Oh, yeah. Rejection and abandonment's pretty deeply embedded, but that's also generational. I've worked through that. I've looked through a lot of layers of that. A lot. And, I was having a conversation with somebody. It's like I'm still thinking about high school. Sorry. Again, my mind's blown. I was talking to somebody sometime in the last couple of days. We're having this conversation. I have grown so much and I've changed so much. And I was reassuring them, we're always growing, most of us anyway. Some people don't, but we're always growing as people. And I've definitely had those moments where I reflect back and it's like, oh man, like if only they had met this version of me, if only they had met the more evolved, comfortable, secure, loving version of me. But you can't go back like that, right? Like, and you can't always convince people or show people that you have changed. Once someone has an impression of you or has that imprint, sometimes it's really hard to move past and sometimes it's hard to get rid of. And there have been times where I've reached out to people from my past and they just can't do it, right? Like, can't see the different person I am now. And that's also okay. But yeah, like, just had me thinking about that. I don't know how I got on that topic. Oh, the rejection and abandonment stuff. Yeah, I worked through a lot of that. That was deeply embedded. I say it a lot, but I mean it. You're so dope. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'll take dope. Dope is cool. When you say the collective is changing, doesn't mean everyone is changing or just a group. The collective energy is changing. It doesn't mean every person in the collective is changing. It's the collective energy of the group itself is shifting because there are people who are shifting, even if not everyone is shifting. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. South Africa is my most cherished travel experience. Oh, it's wonderful. I hope you go. I will one day. I will. There's a lot of travel in my future. Oh, Canada. I also want to go to Canada. Part of me wants to live in Canada, to be honest. How did you work through rejection and abandonment? Took a long time. Again, this is nothing that I forced. These are things that I've taken a lot of time and years to sit with and reflect and be honest with myself and take accountability and make active changes. It's like that's always the starting point. And it's going to look different every time along the way. And every relationship, by the way, is also a huge opportunity to do this kind of work and to grow as a person. And again, taking that accountability, because you can do this on your own. But when someone's in front of you, throwing your shit back at you, there's no running from it. There's no running from it. There's nothing more triggering in this world like that. No escaping it. No escaping it. So if you want to have a lot of growth, throw yourself into friendships. Throw yourself into relationships and see what happens. And then take breaks. Take breaks of recovery and isolation to reflect on your experiences. And I guarantee you're going to have a lot of growth happen if you take accountability and are honest, right? Like instead of the whole blaming other people or getting lost in the despair, because that's part of it too, a rejection and abandonment, despair. How do you move past the despair? How do you move past the guilt? How do you move past the shame? You let yourself feel that shit and be human for a hot minute. And after you feel it, those emotions do alleviate and you get that moment of clarity. It's like you have to let yourself go through the experience. There's no shortcut. Sorry, I just got a little preachy. I felt that. Sorry. Friendships are healthy. As a trigger catalyst, people do be running though. Yes. Fall into love, right? It's funny you say that. Yes, fall into love. Fall into love. Fall into love. I'm human just like the rest of you. So I still have moments where I struggle with things. And just the way you just phrased that, Angelica, it was like, oh, I needed to hear that exact phrasing. Just fall into love. Yeah. Anyway. Shadow work for the win. Your hair has been looking amazing lately. Thank you. I've been taking extra time to do what I can with it. I'm getting up. I'm getting, I'm not getting younger, right? So I'm just doing what I can to keep it healthy, preventative. Um, I definitely have some scalp issues that I've been battling for the last couple of years, and it's been frustrating, but I'm waiting till 2023 to go to a dermatologist for that because I've been doing things on my own and it just hasn't been getting me over the hump. It's been helping a little bit, but I haven't been able to get over the hump. So I'm going to see a dermatologist soon for it, but I can't deal with that in this year. That's got to wait. It's got to wait a little bit. Yeah, like at night I actually like I put it into twists and I use oils and creams and things and to protect it. I have hair that's oh no, my camera's gonna die. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Sorry, I just saw the camera. I gotta go. Camera's gonna die. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for the super chats. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I will be posting the weekly messages on Patreon today. And then obviously they will post Monday. Okay. Love you guys. Take care. Lots of love, lots of love, lots of love. This was fun. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.